Hello everyone, my name is Comrade Riot and welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, I've done a lot off camera. The first thing that I've done is I have filled up several of the milestones for I have filled up several of the milestones that we need to research. So first one that we are going to do is actually Mark II blueprint. So I can make some blueprints while I wait for the pod to come back. I've also filled up Pipeline Engineering Mark II. And then lastly, I filled up the bauxite refining, or I've almost filled it up. I have the last bit in my inventory. So we're gonna start with Blueprint Mark II.
Milestone reached. The Blueprint Mark II improves upon the Mark I in every dimension, except for the metaphysical ones. This improvement was made available due to complaints from pioneers about other pioneers not being capable of managing their space efficiently. We listen to pioneers, always.
The other thing that I've done is I've made a proper storage system right here. So not everything is being transferred over yet, but we have a sushi belt. 3 sushi belts. We have on the left one, computers, quartz crystal and silica coming in. Then in the middle, we have quick wire, cable, and normal wire coming in. Right through here. On this one, we have all the iron stuffs and copper sheets coming in, as well as the crystal oscillators, because it was just the easiest one to hook it up to. And then they come into all these smart splitters, get split up between their respective bins, and then any overflow heads to these awesome sinks to get crushed up. I am working on the design for this. I was going to finish building these up to transfer the steel stuff over, then we were going to do the design in this episode. However, I've noticed a problem, and that is over here, if we run to this power pole. Our power graph isn't good anymore. Like right now, like right there when it was orange, we were draining from our batteries. And all the time, we're actually burning biomass now in order to stay afloat. And that is because, number one, we don't have a very powerful power plant yet. And number two, because of my shenanigans with... How much biomass do we have left? Still an okay amount. Because of my shenanigans with the storage room, we're actually, all of our factory, or the majority of our factory, is running right now. Because none of these sushi belts are filled up because of the awesome sinks. But I can't turn off the awesome sinks, because then our storage wouldn't fill up, because like with the silica would back up, and then the computers and the crystal, and the quartz crystal would not make it to the storage bin. That's the problem with sushi belts anyway. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to wait till we get at least Pipeline Engineering Mark II before we worry about that. Now, the first thing we're going to do today, though, is actually right over here. I don't think I made this platform big enough. No, not even freaking close. Alright, so I just recentered and made the platform big enough to actually fit this thing. So, oh shoot. We're gonna design some basic blueprints that we're gonna use a lot of, at least. Now, I don't really like using blueprints for my actual builds, like as far as like manufacturers, assemblers, and everything else. I do sometimes use them, but the main thing that I use them for is actually roadways, and specifically with turning. So if we had a road going, normally like I would just turn before blueprints were a thing. I wouldn't bother, I just do 90 turns everywhere. But now with blueprints, you can actually make really easy curves. They're still a pain in the ass to put down, but they're a lot easier to actually use. So how you can do it is you just put down one platform with two little things off to the side. You aim right at the tip up here, and you just place it down, and you get a very gradual turn going. Put that on my hotbar so I actually can grab it easier. In order to, by the way, in order to actually get it to rotate like that, you hold control. So you can rotate it by 1 instead of rotating by 90s. It also adjusts the pivot point to be in the good spot. But yeah, so that's basically how you can get really gradual turns, which are not only nice for like tractors and trucks, but you can also use them for railroads. But the railroads are less cooperative, so you have to build the whole turn, and then you can like put a little railroad down at the start and a little railroad down at the end and connect them, and it should turn relatively nicely. But all right. So we are going to design our railroad tracks today, because I want to make a good-looking railroad this time. Normally, I just go for the method of drag them across the ground and try to keep them from clipping as much as possible. But I don't want to do that this time. I want to try and make some nicer railroad tracks. So we're going to use these frame foundations, because I kind of have an idea of what I want the railroad to look like in my brain, and I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability, but as we all know, I suck at speaking. So here's kind of the idea that I have, right? We're gonna have train tracks running all across the world. So like for our oil stuff, we're gonna have, this is our main base up here. This is where we're building our oil stuff. This is where our current oil is. I think the main actual oil building itself is either going to be up here, like on the ocean front, or it's going to be back here, like on this little mountain ledge. But either way, our train tracks are going to start somewhere over here, drive down and over, and up into whatever area we decide our oil wants to be. So with that, we need a like main train. What the hell is happening back here? Do the railways not like, no, they're fine on it. Okay, good. So we need a main train line that looks something like this, where the trains come in one way and go out a different way, kind like a normal road, right? And then you could have your like junctions coming off of the train going different directions, and it's all good. But I also want a third train line, and maybe even a fourth train line for like special trains. So one of them I want to be my project train, which is basically just a train that I don't really care about the throughput on, so it'll only have one lane, and it will basically just carry all of this crap that I would need for any project that I'm working on over to where I'm working on it, drop it off, come back to the main place, pick it up, go back, and so forth, so on. I know that the dimensional depots are a thing now, and you don't really need a project train. However, I just prefer to have an infinite number of every item rather than a limited little number of most items. Because, like, I probably won't ever put, like, stators in my thing, but I might need stators for something. Or motors. Well, actually, I do have motors. That was a bad example. Like, you know what I mean. So I want, and plus, I think it would look cool. So, oh, the thing's back. What's about to be back is like hovering. There it is. So this is kind of what I want it to do. And I definitely want enough room underneath the train tracks to where the heck are they? They're in logistics. Why would they be anywhere else? To where I can run a belt like inside of here. Oh, it's not cooperating. But like I can run a belt down the whole length of the train track if I need to, so it's like, oh, so I don't have to have a separate belt thing, like a separate belt pylon running the same direction as the train track. You know what I mean? So that's the idea. We're gonna go get this research done, or going off, while I think about what I want to do.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are recorded instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
Okay, so I've grabbed everything that I think I might need into this hotbar, in terms of what the actual thing will be made of. And then I also made this one from everything that I might want to put onto it. So we got railway, hypertube, pipe, conveyor, and power tower and normal power pole. So I think we're going to start off with the pillar, like what I want the pillars to look like. And I think we are going to start off with this big concrete pillar. How do I want to do this? Can we stack? Okay. Oh, and it goes perfectly in the middle. That's nice. So I'm thinking something like this, maybe. Oh, this is the wrong. Well, I could have just. There we go. Oh, there's no. Okay. Actually, this looks better anyway. I was gonna say there's no inverted ramp option, but this is what I wanted to do anyway. I was just gonna do it with multiple ramps. So I think this is pretty good for our. Obviously, I'm gonna decorate it a little bit more. But this is what the basics of it should be. Oh, our support like pillar. Then I'm trying to decide. Okay. So what I'm trying to decide between is, do we want a ramp like that, or do we want an inverted steel ramp like this? I think if we go with the steel ramp, though, we're gonna want the whole thing on the left to be, like, on the side to be steel. Okay. So I tried a bunch of different textures and stuff, and I think we're gonna go with the concrete side. This just looks like a normal bridge pillar. Or not normal, but like it looks like a real what a real world bridge pillar would look like, kinda. And I'm trying to figure out a way. So maybe we put in the middle something like that, and then we can drive up these big pillars along the side to give it more like a shape to it, so it's not perfectly square. It kind of had these bubbles on the side. I'm thinking maybe this can go up to be like a middle support for the. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna need. Oh, I need to get this as well, don't I? Okay, we'll get this first because I kind of need to get that research so I can actually put them on these tracks and stuff when I build them. You want to know what I completely forgot about? We need to research the blueprints tab, the blueprint Mark I, because I completely forgot that I skipped over that. So we'll do that first because I want to test out that bridge pillar. All right, launch. We now have the blueprints tab. Do I still have old blueprints? No, I don't.
Reduce
Okay,
repetitive
good.
building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Okay, I just had a really stupid idea that I know I'm gonna regret. But hear me out. Oh, why can't I build that? Oh, because I was too close to the edge over on that side, but I could still. Something is a little weird with that, but okay. Now I can build all the way over. Alright. Strange. Okay. Oh, hologram cannot be placed in the blueprint designer. Shoot. Okay. That makes this a little more complicated than I wanted it to be. So we gotta put down another rail over here. Put our... I think this is the largest of the train cars. I think a fully loaded freight car is just a little bit... Well, I think it might be the same height, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay. So, I want to know exactly how tall this is without clipping. So, to get a... So, like... Can I put out the brakes? Well, oh wait, I can back up and, like, kind of drive forward. Oh, no, I can't because I don't have power. So, I think that this, even if the train's braking, the brakes won't, like, clip to the top if we have that over it. So it's about 2 foundations tall. So if we come over here and we suck that in on the side. Oh, I just swapped to the frame floor. Whoops. Give me the wall. I'll just do that. There. But okay, you see what I'm getting at? I hope you do, because I don't. Come on, snap to the top, you bitch. What it... Sure. And I can't grab the upside down ramp from there. This is... testing my patience a little bit. That's not... God damn it, I just... I measure twice, place down block twice. Okay. There we go. I just jumped off the thing like a fucking dumbass. Okay, so now if we hover this in there, yeah, it's perfectly able to go through without any problem. I think that that looks pretty cool. One thing that I am considering, though, is would it look cooler with, instead of frame walls there, we use concrete walls. Can't put it there for some weird reason. Hold that thought, though. We're gonna go finish another research. Probably about the block signal, I think, is next. There we go.
Milestone reached. Train signals placed on train rails can control and improve train behavior. This helps to avoid events where multiple trains attempt to occupy the same physical location. For information related to earlier train events, please refer to your employee non-disclosure agreement.
Okay, so how we're gonna get concrete walls in here is quite simple. We're just gonna build up the normal wall and then paint them with the concrete thing. However, because these are normal walls, they hate existence, and they overhang the side of a whole, like, half of the wall. And that's not a problem on this side, because we could just do that, right? And it would fix the problem, apart from the little glitchy texture on the end. But that'll be hidden with, like, other foundations and stuff. But on this side, it's just there. And it's really ugly, in my opinion, right? With the frame foundations, though, you don't have that problem, because the frame foundations are half a slot like, are half a wall thinner than the normal walls. There might be a way in order to, like, use the... Where the hell are they in here? In order to use, like, the high barrier or the road barrier to, like, scoot it in half a wall segment, because these are not bound to the same grid as the walls are. But you can snap the walls to them. But I'm not patient nor smart enough to figure that out, so we ain't doing that. After looking at it for quite a bit, I prefer the left side, but I'm still not happy with it. And it's mostly the reason I prefer the left side is, again, because of that little overhang nonsense. And it just looks a lot, and well, it doesn't look, it is a lot more open because it literally has holes in it. But I'm still not satisfied with it yet. Anyway, we'll tinker around with those in a moment. So for now, we're going to continue to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the placement. And I know, like, I want my project train rail to be up here at the top. Now, I just don't know how I want to, like, mount it up here. Like, that part of figuring out how to get the shape down is pretty easy. But as far as, like, where the train is gonna go in there is not as easy. But I think I may have thought of an idea. So what we're gonna do is we'll just have the train up here, right? Oh, that doesn't snap. There we are. So we'll have the train up here at the top. Then using this pillar, we'll make the kind of support structure. That's over the edge of the... I don't trust that that'll save, so I'm gonna delete that. But well, this will be like the kind of support structure for the main body of the rail. But there's this little overhang, and I don't like it. Can I sneak this in somehow? Ooh. I can. We might be going somewhere with this. So I managed to get those catwalks in, but it still doesn't look supported. Oh, that's not a pillar, so that doesn't... Okay. That's good. Oh shit. That's not. So I thought for some reason that this was the was like pillar, so that it would snap to the middle, you see? How it snaps directly to the middle on those. But since it's not, and it's just a normal foundation, we can just slot these in right underneath those, giving us a nice supported look to the whole thing. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I was able to sneak a railing in, and I think that if there's a train, it would be a tight squeeze, but you probably would survive. But I don't know, the railing just looks right for up here, so it's gonna stay, even though that you would probably get your head taken off if the train went nyum. But that's fine. Okay. So with all the pillars up here gave me an idea of maybe how to... Clipping may occur. What? Can I not, like, clip this into these walls for some reason? That's really dumb, if that's the case. I mean, what else could it be clipping with? Or is it the ramp that it doesn't want? It's the ramp. That's kind of weird. But that's not gonna stop me from doing this. It wants to go everywhere but the place that I need it to go. Something like up with this foundation, with this, oh, right, it's an inverted ramp. Okay. Nope, it still just does not like that. Okay, we're just gonna do that then. Okay. So, if we can get a big pillar, like, that might be a little close. But we'll look. That's the wrong button, this one. So yeah, there's a little bit of clipping, and I don't like that. Oh, I just deleted the wrong thing. So if we just scoot it back, like, there. Now it should fit with no clipping. Yeah, no clipping. Now that looks a lot more complete, I think, anyway. It's kind of tying in the whole, so instead of like these splitting apart the concrete, it's now tying in like the steel is just a support for the bigger concrete structure. Okay, so I just copied it over to the other side. I think this looks really good, actually. I am thinking though that we definitely want a little bit more concrete pillars like right here and here. To give a little bit more like weight to the bottom, so it actually, so these just don't jut out with like no supporting structure. I think that that makes it look a lot better, and I did like I made it thicker this way, like this way, than that way, because like it's a lot wider this way. So I think that that makes it look a lot more like substantial. Okay, so, now I want to work these into it. I don't think we're gonna work hypertubes into it, because I travel with cannons mostly anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to have a hypertube going through it. Even though I think it would look kind of cool. But no, I don't think we could. Like, I was thinking maybe we could put it up here. Like remove that pillar in the middle and this right here and kind of like work its way through here somehow. But like I don't see a way that we can get this concrete look to still be there. Maybe with a small pillar we could do it. But that seems like too much of a pain in my ass to worry about. For something that I would probably never use. Here's a thought. Maybe we don't work the belt work and the pipes into this part, right? Because this part is gonna be like that high or more off the ground for the most part. So maybe instead of working it into the top, we work it in to the bottom. Smart idea or dumb idea? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Okay. Motherfucker. I meant to hit that button. My brain hit this one instead. Alright. Well, it should go faster this time at least. I am making one slight change to it. So basically I clipped this into this block up here so that these would all be on the same level at the end. So they would all be level at the end so that we wouldn't have any weird things where like frames would meet and then they would clip into each other. I think this little bit of clipping is better than frame foundations clipping into it, or frame pillars clipping into each other, because they look a lot more obvious to me, at least, with like the weird shaping and stuff. But apart from that, that's it. I haven't changed nothing else. Okay, so I rebuilt almost exactly what we had. Again, I changed that up there. And I couldn't get these railways to place all the way forward. They wouldn't want to. Like, if I tried, it just says overlapping with object clearance, partially overlapping blueprint designer. You can't, like, rotate the railway in any way I know. So I don't know why it's doing that. So I just And I can't even do it on the other side either. So they're just a little bit shorter. But that'll be fine. Right. I also realized that I jumped the gun a little bit because I wanted to put lights on these. And the first type of light that I want to try to fit in were these, but we're just a little too short for them. Which is fine. Street lights might also be nice. Oh, I also forgot to put the railing in up here. Whoops. But they're a little long for what we want. Maybe not, actually. I'm gonna do some fiddling. And, I'll be back after fiddling. Okay. So I kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone here. I did manage to work a light in up here. And I found a way to run power along, too. So, and I tried hiding the cables as best I could. Obviously, there wasn't much I could do about this cable here coming down to the light control panel. But the light control panel immediately turns from here, goes straight in here to a hidden little nub that connects that to the power lines on either side. Now, I do want to work in another light for these trains down here, but I'm not sure what exactly I can do, because like you can see, if I build that, it's a little too tall, and I can't really think of a convenient way to hide it. Like, I could put it like inside here, but it would still be too tall. So I don't think we can work a street lamp in here. The flood lamps or floodlights are freaking huge, and they're really kind of ugly. Same thing with the flood tower. Like you could use these, but not for this or what I'm trying to do. I don't really like them. Again, if these were just a little smaller, they would be perfect. But not all is lost, because you can... Oh, I don't have any crystal oscillators. You can put these display signs up, right? And sure, they're not the best at putting out light. We'll do with these ones. No, that's still a little small. Like, that's too big. This is too small. That is, like, perfect. What we could do is we set it to something like this. Remove the text, so it's just a blank sign now. Set emission strength to 3 in glossy. Change the color to, like, I don't know, let's go with like this blue. I don't know which one of these is actually changing, so we'll just set all of them to it. Perfect. And now we have a nice blue light right there. I'm gonna do some more fiddling with the actual placement of the light. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do what I want to do with it, really, which is get it at an angle. But I'm gonna try. Okay, so that was kind of the best I could do in terms of getting a light down here. I kind of wanted it to be like a little bit up and angled, but I couldn't make it happen. All right, I'm gonna go get some crystal oscillators from storage because we're still not done with the signage. So my kind of headcanon for how this is this top one is like a service track. So its specific job is literally just to ferry the people that service the trains and like the train tracks and stuff around. So like they could stop on the track if they needed to do this, because it's not like any other trains are coming. So we're not going to worry about putting a sign up here, but we are going to put billboards down by these tracks telling like you're now entering oil industry sector or whatever. So like and I want to try to do something where I can come up with names for all of my sections. So like the oil is like Dead Paw Industries or something because it's oil and oil kills the environment or whatever. It's also is literally dead things compressed into oil. So I don't want to do something like this though. This is my original thought, but well, obviously like have this out here, but like I don't like the look of how big the thing is for how tiny the actual like pole for the billboard is. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna save this time. Okay, we're gonna set a directory. Okay, so that means we should now have, okay, yes, we now have the full support working. I'm gonna make sure that I did that before I delete everything, have to rebuild the whole damn thing again. But alright. The next thing we want to do is build that billboard thing that I was talking about. Now the reason I didn't attach it to the thing is because we don't want that support to always have billboards on it. Sometimes the support just needs to be a damn support, right? So we're just going to build it separately. Now these things are probably going to be fairly tall. They're not just going to be a couple of blocks tall. So they probably need a fairly substantial base plate for them to sit on. Okay, I'm thinking something like this, painted with concrete. Looks pretty good. Kind of like the shape that's going on here. So we want it to be like that, but then for the actual like tower bit that go up. Oh, I can't get that perfectly centered. So like that's there. That could be there, I guess. I don't like the tiny gap. No, it can't work. Okay. Okay. I would rather lag than have tiny gap. So we'll fill it in with an extra bit of concrete that's just there to fill tiny gap. I think that that's a pretty good substantial base to this thing. I really like the shape actually. Like that, I think that that is a good shape. And then like that's the pillar that goes up to the top. That's really cool actually. I love that look. I think I could actually make it look maybe cooler, although it might start looking a little bit eh. If we add in those pillars there and I like the more simplistic look over there. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. We'll add this to the train section. A new subcategory and we'll call it billboard. I didn't spell billboard correctly. Would you look at me? God damn it. I didn't save it. At least it wasn't very complicated. Why do I always... I don't think I've ever done that before today. And then I'm recording, and then my body is just like, yep, hit the button. Remove everything. Not like, though, that it was a very hard thing to make, so I don't know why. Now, I rebuild it again, because I hit the stupid button again. This will just be called Billboard Base V1. Alright, now it's saved. Gonna check real fast. Nope. There we go. Okay. A little concerned after it wasn't wanting to load. But alright. So now we got that done. The actual tower bit shouldn't be too difficult either. It should just be like, oh crap, where did I put it on this actually? Okay, so they're not like completely embedded. So they're like right there. God damn it. And then right at the top where the actual billboard is going, I want to do something a little different. Why did I just... Nope. There we go. I want to sync... Oh no, there. I want to sync them in to where they're just a little nub. To add just a little bit more taper to the tower. Not that this tower needs more taper. So now we want to put in the billboards. A large billboard. I think that's upside down, so like that. It's upside down. Fuck. Those might be a little too big. I don't like how there's no support, but let's see if I can remedy that. That has a bit of support. It also gives us the perfect platform to do the next thing that I want for this. I want to put lights on these. Those are a little tall though. I think though, if I put lights on like pillars like this, that they would be the perfect height. Yes. Okay. So real billboards, at least everyone that I've seen, have like at least 2 lights on them, one on either side. So we're gonna mimic that. Now, unfortunately with pillars, they don't have a snapping. Well, it's unfortunate for this, but it's fortunate for almost everything else that you use pillars for. It's a little off. And then with that in there, it hides the base of the light post, making them look just like shorter light posts. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good looking. So we're gonna save this. I almost clicked the fucking button again. God. Okay, so I saved it, cleared everything. Now let's see how easy it is to actually get the billboard on the billboard base. So we just put that down where we like it. Ada's gonna yell at me.
Building in blueprint mode can further optimize your construction process with snapping and quick dismantling options. Build modes are not just there to make your work easier, they compensate for inevitable human error. Fixit understands humanity like no other, and humanity needs you to be efficient and productive at all times.
Wow. That actually worked really well, apart from the fact that it was facing the wrong direction. There we go. That worked unreasonably well. But okay. Now we gotta design the base of this thing, the support. Which I think is, like, the top of it is literally just one, or like the part we're kind of connect to is just one of those. So obviously this is gonna have to come like straight down. Then we continue these down. I think these go straight down into the ground. Or not into the ground, but like straight down to like there. Then we add in like... There's a normal ramp probably will do. Okay. The wheels in my brain are turning. Then we wanted to be able to pipe pipes and stuff through, right? So what we'll do is something like that. It doesn't cooperate. Nope. We use something. Oh, I love the look of these ramps. I think that they're really nice. Like they provide a really nice curve. But I haven't found a way yet to like hide the fact that it doesn't go for a full foundation's width. So I kind of went completely silent while developing this because it was just a lot of humming and hawing. But I actually really like how this turned out. So what I did to fix the side was I added this, and I kind of like the pattern that it made with the stripes coming down the side. And there's still plenty of room in here to run a ton of pipes. So like we could easily, without doing any editing, fit 3 pipes in. And I'm sure we could fit... there's a little bit of clipping, but I'm sure we could convince another pipe to fit in. We definitely can fit at least 6 of these in. I don't think we're going to be transporting that many through the bases of these. And whenever there's nothing coming through the bases, let me get rid of that. We could just fill it in. And I still think... Oops. That was not what I meant to do. That it looks pretty neat. Although this is really annoying, but... It's a lot more noticeable on the smaller pillars. So if we do... And when we do fill it in, we'll probably just delete these edge ones. And then problem solved. It's like you can't... There's... Like for these big pillars, you can barely see that it happens, but if you look like right here or on the top, it really shows, but if you're far away, you can't see it at all, so it's fine. I think from the same distance though, you can definitely tell that one is happening, so that's why I want to delete the edge ones. So now we save this. I almost hit the button again. I gotta put like a fucking piece of tape over that. So with that all saved up, we're gonna go start on actually working on something apart from just blueprints. What happened over here? Okay, something weird is occurring. We're not getting any silica. Because the copper backed up. Eh. I thought if it was set to any undefined, it would also act as kind of like an overflow. Okay. So we set... We set this to overflow. And now it should get moving. But right. That means okay. This goes to quartz crystal again. This goes to overflow. And now we've got it. So now the quartz crystal will only go that way. And everything else will overflow down the middle. And if you're curious, the copper won't go into any of the storages. It'll just be filtered out over here. So It'll be fine. I think the only other two things on here are computers and circuit boards, and we don't make enough of them to cause any overflow with this little amount of copper and silica and stuff. I'm glad I caught that though. That would have been annoying. Oh, we're out of plastic too. Well, I don't need computers right at this second, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright, anyway. Mild distraction. So, before I do anything else and I forget again, we're going to research the bauxite. Oh, I'm missing one computer. There we go.
Milestone reached. Bauxite is refined into aluminum products via a multi-step process. Considering your past achievements, you should have the minimum required skill to overcome these new production challenges. If it helps, many others have done this before, so if you fail, someone else will eventually succeed.
Perfect, Ada. That really builds up the self-esteem. Alright, so over here, we're going to build our actual train station stuff. And you might be wondering why the hell are we building it so damn far away from everything? It's because pretty much after we get our aluminum going and we finish research on this stuff, all of this factory is going away and we're rebuilding from the ground up pretty much, because we'll have more we'll have the Mark III miner, Mark V belts, and just basically the entire thing is gonna have to get redone. We'll also probably have more recipes, and we'll start working toward those project parts. So that's why I'm building it all the way over here, is because eventually this is where our storage, or this is where this entire biome's going away, and when I rebuild, I'll rebuild the train system through there. So I don't want to build an entire train system that has to come down in like a few hours. Okay, so we'll start this off relatively simple. So right like there is where we'll put our first thing down. I'm just gonna make sure this whole thing's on the ground and not floating. Okay. So now if I were to build this support, where would that... That's very annoying. Apparently I made an oopsie with this pillar, but it's fine. I'll just fix it manually for now. So that does not put us like where I want the train to actually be sitting. So we'll remove it and we'll build it up like 4 blocks higher. I want the train to be like very tall, like very high up, to make it kind of like imposing on the landscape. So like we have these tall rocks, and I want the train to be like superimposed on top of it to make it really stand out. Okay, so that's about the height that I want it to be. Now comes the really, really annoying part. We gotta build this out to another one that's gonna be like right there-ish. And we don't want to just do harsh 90-degree turns, so we gotta build by hand a sort of curve into this. I'm not sure how well these like inverted frames turn. So they don't turn the best, but like they turn good enough that it's livable, as long as you don't go like Insano style with it. Sometimes this building system is both really, really like freeing to where you can do a lot in it. But in order to actually do a lot in it, you gotta like do a secret handshake with the building system in order to get it to work with you. Honestly, it's quite fun to figure out sometimes. Although that might be the Stockholm Syndrome talking. Now, I don't think that I did that quite right. So I'm pretty sure that that they're no longer going to be lined up anymore. Yep. So that's just basic physics, which is a bitch. Basically, the inside will turn more than will turn sharper than the outside will. Fuck. Why do you do this why does the game hate me, guys? I didn't do nothing to the game. The game just does not like me very much. What if instead of that way, I go this way? Alright, I did it. I was able to get the turn to work. And we're pointed pretty much exactly where we want to go. Now, this is not gonna work, I guarantee it, but I'm gonna try anyway. Yeah, it doesn't really work. I was thinking for a second that maybe I could live with it, but no. Well, so like over here on this side, it does work because the turn is a lot less shallow. There's this little weird spot, but I could have lived with that in the turn. But over on this side, this is not happening. Like, I'm not letting that fly. So we're gonna have to find a different, like, solution for the turns. So this section right here is straight. So we can put this on there. And it looks fine. Should I have that on the right side? Yep. But this section is the problem because it's curved. So my thought process is maybe we could use some pillars. So let's actually get this train track going around the turn so that we can actually see what's happening. I think any pillar shenanigans that happens are gonna, yeah, they're gonna clip or they're gonna hang off the side. But we could still use beams. Beams are still gonna want to hang off the side though. Alright, so I think I'm just actually gonna leave the turns blank. Because everything I tried ended up just looking worse than this. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Maybe if we just include a couple of like spaces along the path, it will make it look a lot better as well. Alright, let's continue the path. Oh, there's a Mercer sphere right here.
Are you a temple?
If I had a body, it would be a temple.
You have no body?
I don't think we're on the same line here.
You see lines where there are curves, shallows where there are depths, consume our blood.
I will continue gathering data, I suppose.
Fuck off. Oh hey, big spitter. I think I missed that last shot. There we go. Alright. There's a spooky spider. Where did you come from? Shadow rebar, not the way to deal with Spooky Spider. Okay. So, right in here is where we want the base to be. I think the base is probably gonna... go like right over here. Why? Again, sometimes it feels like I have to fight the build system just to get something where I want it to go. Okay. So the base support, which has to go like there. Are we clipping? Yeah, we're clipping a lot. Let's just see if I'm in the right ballpark. Okay, so that should be the correct spot. So I have to move the base up another block. Okay, so that's the foundation figured out. I did have to edit the back of it to be flat and not ramped because of this stupid rock. But I still think it looks fine. God damn it. Alright, so we got this support placed. And it's looking really good. This is easily the best, it might even be the best building that I've made in Satisfactory, if I'm being honest. I don't put that much effort into my buildings, so it's not like a super duper high bar, but it just looks awesome. Oh hey, a blue power slug. I was just trying to get a good view of the bridge. Hang on. There's a pest. Alright. That was right. The incremental gaps really do kind of make it look pretty cool. Alright, time to do the other side. Alright. It's really coming together now. But now it's time for the part that I've been dreading. Making this turn. So, I don't even know how to go about this. Alright. So we want it to be lined up when it gets here. Right? So it's in the middle, so we gotta go like that. What do we bring this in like one block at a time? Alright, so it actually wasn't even that bad, really, to get it to go that around that turn. There is a little bit of clipping and a little bit of like frames fighting for the first place right here, but you'll be driving by that so fast in the train you won't notice it. And this is pretty good looking. I managed to just jam that in there and then just ignore that. I think from like right back here you can still see it, but it still looks convincing enough. However, this does look rather flimsy. Like the bridge itself looks really flimsy to me, because it's like, and I don't want to add a whole bunch of supports on the bottom. I think the way we can make this look a lot better is by adding in like a brace in between, because right now these are all three separate like links. So what if we were just to actually physically link them, or fake link them, because it's not really here, it's Satisfactory, not real life. I think, and maybe add, oh, we can't center it because well, I think I probably could actually center it if I tried a little harder. There's gonna be a lot of frame fighting if I did that. No, the big pillars just don't seem to have that much frame fighting on them. Okay, I think that looks a lot better. I was trying to decide what I liked better, but I think this big pillars in the middle are too chunky. Like the ones going horizontally are fine, but the ones in the actual like middle are just way too chunky. So, what do I like? Nah, I like the hole. I think the hole gives it a little more, like, I like the idea of the hole. I don't know. It just looks more visually interesting, I guess. Yeah, I like that a lot. It still looks, like super futuristic, but it looks a lot less flimsy. I like that a lot. Alright, I'm gonna go add some like extra detailing to it. Alright, I couldn't really think of anything else to do to the bridge because I think it's pretty good already. All I did was I added little nubbins where the crossbars are. I think it just adds a little bit more to it, like a little bit of more of an interesting shape. Alright, that's gonna do it all for me today, guys. Hopefully we can actually get to oil next time and not spend 3 hours making blueprints. But you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. If you have any suggestions for me on how to make this bridge look better, more details or something, please leave them in the comments below. But otherwise, I'll do all for me today. Until next time, bye guys.